Alrighty, so what does that process look like? So the process of doing the retrofit. So first and foremost, which is not listed, you need to know your why. Is it, like I said at the very beginning, is it lighting output? Are you having uneven lighting throughout the facility? Is it energy reduction? Are you getting complaints from your tenants? Are your maintenance staff being used too much on lighting whenever you need to utilize them in other aspects? So know that why. From there, that's where we become your partner. We're going to go to site and do an on-site audit. We want to get a really good look at what is there. So what is the energy consumption of each individual bulb in every room, every hallway, the exterior, along the perimeter, the wall packs, all of that, so that way we can get a good understanding of what exists. Then we're going to take that why that you have and apply that into creating a solution. So if it's energy reduction, we might give you a different solution than if you have terrible lighting throughout the facility. It's been hodgepodged over the course of the years, and you're wanting to just kind of set the entire facility in a new, nice upgrade, right? I guess I should go to that's the solutions. And during the solutions part, we're going to go ahead and also do an ROI. So you're spending your money. You want to know when that is going to be paid back, right? And in addition to spending your money, you're wanting to understand what other incentives can I take part in that may offset that cost. So I'm going to use a random number. Let's say you're spending, $30,000, but your utility is actually supplying a rebate for $15,000. All right, now you're spending really 15 after you get that rebate back. That's a significant benefit to look at whenever you're looking at LED lighting. So we're doing that throughout that process. There's a lot of communication, getting a good understanding of what is required based on your why. Next is discussing that timeline and all of the logistics associated. So with a project like Hawk Hines Plaza, that was, like you said, huge building, 12, 13 stories, a lot of planning for materials to get delivered in a certain cadence as we were installing floor by floor. Disruption was a non-negotiable. We could not disrupt the tenants. And so we had to make sure we had materials delivering on time as we were doing installation. So that pre-planning of doing the logistics organization was super important. Then the install itself. So obviously we're going through that installation process. Our project management team, Jose was the main person communicating with Peter and his team, and he was working with them throughout the entire time. So we got this entire floor complete, or we were not able to complete this section of it. So next day, this is what we're going to come in and do. Throughout the process, we weren't able to do this part, so we had to pivot and work on this other section over here. We have materials arriving during this time, and so all of that organization and that communication throughout the entire process. We like to overbend that communication so that way you're super comfortable with us coming into your space and your tenant space. At the final completion of the retrofit, what we're looking for is, did we meet that barometer, right? So what was that why on the front end, and are we meeting that on the back end? So we'll do a final inspection with you guys, getting a really good understanding if it was light levels and making sure that we really lifted those light levels up. We're going to go take measurements in the after, right? If it's energy reduction and you wanted some metering, we can do that as well. Just go through that before and after process to make sure that we hit every mark that you needed. And then any adjustments from there.
I just build on that. What was really great is working with a partner like US LED is items 1, 2, and 3. We did the heavy work. We did the real deep thinking as far as how we can manage this project, which in the end made 4 and 5 crazy easy. And what I do want to just point out that when they had their team come out, they walked every single floor with my building engineers, and we talked through the issues that we were running into. Where's good lighting? Where's bad lighting? Where are we having problem areas? And then the project ROI and solutions. This goes back. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but the building value through sustainability presentation this morning data. Getting that data, understanding what kind of data we need to collect is so important, because then you can tell the tale. You can talk to your ownership group and say, here's what we did, here's where we were before, here's where we are afterwards. And to that end, we wound up deciding to put in, we separately from US LED, we installed a sub-meter electrical panel on one of the test floors, on one of our busiest floors, the 7th floor, so that we can kind of get a small data sampling of what the utility usage is pre-installation. And then, of course, after the turnkey installation, it was great. I mean, it was all at night, very few problems. It was communication with the tenants was just critical, and it worked out pretty well.
Awesome.